Welcome to another very interesting session of the Vancouver Island Manufacturing Excellence Alliance, otherwise known as VIMEA. Hi, Anders. Hi, Ray. How you guys doing?
We're doing well.
Fantastic. Yeah. Good.
We've had really great interest in this activity around improving productivity and efficiency in the corporate in the corporate we'll call it manufacturing warehouse. Okay. And there are some trends emerging, and we'd like to talk about one of those trends that isn't necessarily about technology, isn't necessarily about process. It's about human relations. I'll give you an
Mhm.
anecdote, okay? So, when I was doing IT consulting about 10, 15 years ago, it's not absolute rocket science to determine how to make a company more efficient with IT or even organizationally. Okay, so I would generally create a plan, two-page plan, and after consultation with employees and executive suite, and then I'd present it to the CEO, and they would go, "Well, I'm not so sure." And I went, why? And they go, well, I don't know if I can implement those changes. I don't know if I can change.
Hmm.
Okay. So then all of a sudden, this trend emerged. It was not around process, it was not about solution, it was around change management.
Hmm.
And, we're starting to notice that in the field, that we, as implementers of these solutions, really need to be sensitive to how people embrace change and
Mhm.
how they embrace suggestion and how they embrace advice because it's not always welcome. And we want the
Right.
Vimea community to know that we will help. We will listen and we will react accordingly to your capacity for change management. And I think that's what we're going to talk about today. So, Ray,
Hmm.
you run a large company. You're involved with this all the time.
Mhm.
And so, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, all these things are, at least for me, has been an evolution. I was quite a different leader when I started the company, a typical startup, impatient, and got to do this now. And now I'm more of a long-term thinker. Our company has been working with an HR firm for almost a year now, just to help us identify who we're talking to and talk to them in their language, right? So some people are introverts and others are like you, John, extroverts. And so they need a different approach. And and especially when you're talking about Vimeo related things, there could be a little bit of pride in what you've done, and you don't want to be criticizing people for what they're doing. We're trying to be suggesting good change, and doing it in a manner that's a ramp into them understanding more and more about what it is that lean manufacturing is. And of course, my favorite is collaboration. So learning to trust people, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so that does take uh, I guess it takes an approach that's more collaborative and
Open-minded.
and
You know,
open-minded, all
yeah,
those things. Yeah.
takes a lot of courage to do this. This is a message we really want to stress to the
Yeah.
community. This is
It's
where the resistance is. Let's say you own a company. I know you all do, all you 10 or 20,000 people that are watching us right now. And all of a sudden, um, experienced business people come in, and through a process together, we come up with some ways to improve efficiency, and then we leave. And then you're stuck with this piece of paper and you go, I don't think I can do this. I don't think my people will adopt this. I don't think they'll listen. And so we are extraordinarily sensitive to that and will help and
yeah.
react to that. Anders, your thoughts?
Yeah, when we start with a new company, the first thing I ask them to do is say, go and read this book, Lean Made Simple. I picked it. It's an easy evening read. It's step by step. You can take notes in the book. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. And I say, read it. Make sure everybody on your leadership team reads the book. and don't sign on to our program if it, if you think this is foreign or this isn't going to work or just not something for you. And I don't think anybody's turned us down, um, the message in that book is small steps, baby steps. Let people make small improvements to make their life easier, to make their work easier. Um, so
We're almost therapists, aren't we?
kind of
Manufacturing
a
therapists.
groundswell.
Yeah.
A groundswell, I think, is important. Uh, and
Yeah,
if
yeah.
the leaders know where they're going, it might be easier for them to then make
Communicate that.
changes that maybe they hadn't thought were coming along.
Hmm.
Ray, like I said, you're the person amongst the three. We've all had staff work for us, but you're currently have staff working for you. Um, Talk a little bit, if you can, please, around demographic ways in which different age groups might be embracing change.
Oh.
How an I remember this when I was doing some labor market partnerships around soft skills, and we were trying to implement, trying to get companies to understand that you need soft skills to sometimes communicate messages. It
Mhm.
can't always be do this or go away, or has to be massaged, or it has to be not literally massaged, but it has to
Yeah.
be delivered in such a way that people listen and react. An older generation, they don't give a shit about soft skills. You know,
Ah,
Younger generation or more. Anyway, tell us your experiences here.
well, okay. So talking about Gen Zs, I guess,
Sure.
what we'll find is that and they've been set up for this, I think, through this, and I put the blame on the school system, basically. They've just been, they've been given the idea that they're just going to go out and kill it as soon as they leave school. And so there's very high expectations
Hmm.
for, remuneration and opportunities to do things. And so when we run into that, we just try to be very clear that they're not ready, right? And so how do you do that? Is you give them tasks that show them how far they can go, and you sort of test uh, their their skills at the current time, and that generally works. Either that or they move on, like they just think we're unreasonable. Um, you know, it's a big difference though. Like we've hired some people now with 10 years experience, as opposed to 1 year. And what they've done is they've done that moving around, and they've figured out where they want to settle, and more likely, they're going to be productive, and they're going to be settled into the place that we're at. We ask a lot, right? We're not a huge corporation. We're a small company, so we can't afford too much in the way of dragging anchors or people that need training, and that's necessary, but we only have a capacity to do a little bit of that. And I think
Yeah,
it's proportional through all industry. The bigger you are, the more of that you can handle.
yeah, yeah.
So, you got to be careful because we're we're not a government, right? We're a company,
Hmm.
and we don't have bottomless pockets to be able to
Afford
take some of
mistakes.
that. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can't afford any mistakes because we
yeah.
die if we fail, and nobody's going to help us out. So I don't know if that answered your question, but I think basically what I'm learning with this HR training that we're doing company wide right now is that you have to listen to the type of person that you're engaging with and be able to better communicate with them by using tools that we're developing through this engagement, so that if we are talking to an introvert, we're going to be way different communicator than if it's an extrovert, or somebody that really needs reward. There's some people that identify more with recognition, and others that just want money. And so you have to know what motivates people, and then you can work with them. So I
Well,
think,
VIMEA is a organization of collaborative, experienced practitioners
Yeah.
whose goal is to try to improve efficiency and productivity amongst all of our community. We will be collaborating. There will be, if you're engaged with us, we'll be talking together, like around round tables or Zoom calls or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be dealing with all kinds of demographics, all kinds of situations. What we want to emphasize to everyone right now is that we will listen, we will adjust, and we will heed your advice to help you reach those objectives. And I
Yeah.
think we all agree with that, can't we?
Very good point. You know what? I think what you're coming around to is we want to be lean in all aspects of what we do. And communication, I'm married. I know this. And anybody who's in any kind of a relationship will know that that is a core concept that has to be really paid attention to. And so if we're going to be successful, then we have to be great, not only good communicators, we have to be great at it. And
and adaptive.
Mm.
Gentlemen, I think we've hammered this as much as we can. We really wanted to get this out because we're hearing that from folks.
Yeah.
We can sit here till we're blue in the face that companies need efficiency and productivity improvements, but there's a bridge to getting there, and we're
Mhm.
sensitive to that bridge.
Yeah,
All right, you guys.
absolutely
Oh, by
right.
the way, let's see. I've got a big announcement here. October 8th at the Sidney Breakfast Club in Sydney, in which I help manage. We've got 3 to 4 companies that have been involved in this process who will be panel members speaking to this process. And both of you will be there, I hope. And so I encourage anyone else to come and listen to companies that are along the pathway. You know,
Yeah.
it's a journey, isn't it?
Yeah. And the cool thing about what we've got there in the way of participation is we've got the full spectrum. We've got one company that's been doing lean for 30 years, right? And one
Wow.
company that's just starting to think about building a facility to build electric boats. So that's the range. And there's something in the middle as well. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how that all plays out in the way of getting the message out. Nothing better than getting people that are actually involved in the process to tell us how it's going, or to tell everyone how it's going.
Yeah, fantastic.
Mhm.
So, to all our listeners, thanks for heeding some of our journey, listening to some of the reactions to our journey, and maybe we'll see you on the what date did I say again? Let me
Eighth,
see. On the
eighth,
8th.
yeah, at 7 in the
Anders?
morning. Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to be improving efficiency and productivity.
It's worth
Uh,
getting up early and going for sure.
Absolutely.
yeah, it sure is. Anders, Ray, thank you very much.
All right, take
Okay.
care.